and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome in Slovakia, Welcome in Slovakia, heart of Europe. Welcome in High Tatras, the heart of Slovakia. Welcome to the 11th conference, international conference devoting to emerging learning technologies and application, ICETA 2013, having the subtitle Using ICT in Education. In the beginning, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jan Genci. I work at the Technical University of Košice, Slovak Republic, and here I am in the position of for the session chair. I would like to know that official conference language will be English. And let me remind you briefly the history of the conference. The first conference in the series started in 1999 in Košice. Since then, the conference program has collected hundreds contributions dealing with theoretical, practical, and methodological aspects of ICT applications for education. Okay, now it's my pleasure to introduce you our honored guest at the chairman desk. In the first row, Professor Anton Čižmár, Director of the Technical University of Košice, a man who has personally supported the previous ICETA conferences from the very beginning. Mr. Peter Jakub, General Director of the Institute of Information, the Institute of Information and Prognosis of Education, Ministry of Education of Slovak Republic. Mr. Jake Slegars, you are already trained. Executive Director of American Chamber of Commerce in Slovak Republic, Professor Imre Rudas. Rector of the Obuda University, Budapest, Hungary, representative of the Hungarian section of IEEE, František Jakab. Organizing and Program Committee Chair, Marian Bučko, CEO of Alpha Limited, main conference organizer. And now I would like, I have honor to ask Professor Anton Čižmár, a Director of Technical University of Košice, as a representative of the institution taking professional guarantee of the ICETA conference, to present his opening speech and to open the conference officially.
Thank you very much, Janko. Yes? Okay, thank you. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my really great pleasure to welcome you here to this conference on behalf of my institution, Technical University of Košice. I see a lot of familiar faces, and majority of you have already attended several times this conference, so it's very hard for me to say something surprising for you, but I will do my best step by step. First of all, I would like to thank many people who have been involved since the beginning when the preparation of this conference started. I would like to thank people from Honorary Committee, my friend Imre Rudas, who is a great supporter and very helpful person that this conference is part of the IEEE series. I would like to thank Jack Schleger from American Chambers for his great support, not only of this conference, but the AmCham society is very close to to Slovak universities, and I would say this is such a good bridge between the industry and the university. So thank you very much. I'd like to thank the colleagues from Ministry of Education. Minister of Education, especially Mr. Čaplovič, is also the great supporter of these processes, especially implementing ICT into the education and learning and teaching processes. My thanks belongs to organizers, the chairs, František Jakab and Mr. Fedek. I don't know whether he's here. Vilo is not here. And also, as well as Alpha Company for its great job they did during the preparation phase. And of course, I would like to thank all of you, especially the presenters, because when I went through the list of the presentation, I am very satisfied because the professionalism and skill of the people who are going to present the presentation are the guarantee of the quality of the presentation. I look forward to listen this presentation. The topic of the ICETA conference is very well known. It is still quite the same, but it's still very interesting and very important because the implementation of these technologies into the education processes is the question of the day. One thing I would like to mention that also I am from the Technical University of Košice, and I'm from the Technical University. I'm a great supporter of implementing the technologies into the education processes. I would like to say just one thing, that please don't forget that about the students, because also these technologies are very important. They are still just, by my view, one of the helpful means how to make easier or improve the educational processes. The students are human beings. We were, as a human creature, born in order to communicate, not just by this technology, but by the natural way. And the most natural way of communication is our body, our voice, our face, our gestures. Don't forget about this way of communication, because many times the teacher as a person is the great inspirator for students to make them better people in life. Let me say the basic information about our university. Currently we have something around 13,000 students distributed among 9 faculties. Also, as I have mentioned, we are technologically oriented university. We have such 2 very special faculties, like Faculty of Economy and Faculty of Arts. And also these faculties are not large, but the smallest at the university. They are very popular. And for example, Faculty of Arts was the main, I would say, partner of the project Košice European Capital City of Culture 2013, and I'm proud to say that thanks of people from our university, this project is very successful. I am frequently repeating that our university stands on 3 pillars: the pillars of education, the pillars of science and technology, research and development, and the third one is pillar of technology transfer. There are 2 or 3 great projects ahead of us. One of them is developing of University Science Park Technicum, which should be the main platform for such activities like startup and spin-off companies, and the main channel between the university and the industry. The pillar of education is also very important, and when I opened this academic year, I sent one of the message I sent to the students and to faculty was, please try to open a new way of communication between teachers and students. One, because you certainly know that technically oriented university do not belong among the most popular universities among young students. We have to give a lot of energy in order to invite young students in the university, in order to convince them to enroll in the university. But what we notice is that at least maybe 30–40% of freshmen in the university are not going at least to try the first exams at the university. And we are thinking, why? Why? Of course, the quality of the secondary school graduates, especially in the subjects like math, physics, etc., are not such high like was before. And many mistakes have been done in Slovakia over past 20 years in educational processes, but it is up to us how we convince these young students that study at the technologically oriented universities are very important for the economy of the state. And the second thing is to not only to enroll the student at the university, but to retain them at the university. And it is the role of the professor, of the teacher, how we keep the balance between the attractiveness of the student, between the number of the student and the quality of the education processes. I hope, I believe that these conferences will be some of the inputs of inspiration how to make the educational processes better for our student and for the teacher. Today we are just at the beginning of the conference. Maybe you noticed that this conference is already 11th conference in the row. It is not only about the technical program, it is also about the atmosphere. I would like to thank again the organizer of the conference that they created such very positive and friendly atmosphere. And what to say, the venue is not bad. The venue of the conference is not bad. The weather is also good. So please try to enjoy the conference, make this time happy. I wish you a very fruitful and productive discussion. I wish not you, I wish to all of us this way of communication. So thank you very much, and please enjoy the conference.
Thank you very much for your speech, Mr. Rector. And now I would like to ask our guests to present their short welcome address. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jake Sledger, Executive Director of American Chamber of Commerce in Slovak Republic.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a pleasure to be here once more. This is probably we figure the 6th or 7th year that the American Chamber of Commerce is involved in this conference. And I have to say it's become a little bit of a reunion for many of us. And in fact, already last night we started working over some refreshing beverages to coming up with several solutions last night. We were very creative, and we have already begun. It shows the power of this conference. I think when people who are in this interested so much in business and academic cooperation, as we call it, are willing to gather here on a yearly basis. The American Chamber of Commerce unites more than 330 members throughout all of Slovakia and beyond, and we are truly dedicated to the issue of education and pairing business and academic business and academia in with the goal of improving the education system and therefore improving the quality of graduates for our member companies. We hold it in such high importance that last year, 2012, we designated as our year of education, and we had several events throughout 2012, culminating in a large education conference just over about a year ago, and we truly focused a lot on educational issues last year. But that wasn't only last year. We continue, of course, with that effort. We continue with our effort this year on regional development, and therefore taking our efforts in business academic cooperation throughout all of Slovakia. We are focusing now on Banská Bystrica and Žilina as well as other areas throughout Slovakia. So we are continuing to work on the whole issue of education. I invite you to take a look at our brochure that we have produced, highlighting all of our activities and all of our initiatives that we have, including our Train the Trainer program, where we work with teachers on instilling in them enhanced teaching methods that they might use in their classrooms. We also have our Mentor Network program, where we pair bright high potential students with CEOs, and it has a dramatic impact on their lives, on their future development. So, and many other initiatives that we have highlighted in this brochure that you can pick up throughout the conference and at tonight's reception as well, to gain more information about the activities of the American Chamber of Commerce, as we dedicate much of our activities to business academic cooperation. I want to thank everyone involved with this conference. I do think it's, on a personal level, a fantastic initiative, and we hope that it will continue for a long time to come as we work on constantly improving business and academic cooperation in Slovakia. Thanks again.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Now I would like to ask Professor Imre Rudas, representative of IEEE, for his welcome address.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. It's really my great honor and pleasure to be here again. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm glad that it is if I remember well, the fourth year that IEEE is the sponsor of this conference. There are many reasons I like to attend this conference, but let me mention only the four main reasons. The first one is the topic, which is a very hot topic. It was mentioned here, so I do not want to go into the details, but you know why so important in higher education, e-learning. The second one is the standard of the conference. Usually there are very good presentations. I always enjoy it. The third reason is there's this familiar time atmosphere. As I look around, I can see many familiar faces, friends. It's good to meet with you again, good to be here. And the last one is the surroundings, the High Tatras, the venue. I hope we will keep this conference during the next 20 years. All right, so, and just one comment on a letter you received during the last few days based on behalf of IEEE. But the letter was not true. It was a big misunderstanding between the organizers and the IEEE sponsors. The letter said that if one paper was not covered by a registration fee, in that case the author or authors will be on a blacklist of IEEE, and they could not attend any more IEEE conferences. That's not true. The IEEE policy is that all papers should be which are included in the proceedings should be covered by registration fee, and the reason is that IEEE's policy is that conferences for that to meet people, to provide a platform to share ideas and a lot of things, not a platform for publication, not for that, just send a paper and try to include somehow into the proceedings. So that's why IEEE wants to be covered, all papers should be covered by registration fee, but there is no blacklist. From the other side, there is a blacklist for plagiarism, and we do it. You know, this is a serious problem during the last few years, but this is a very different thing. So I am very sorry about this, that letter. I apologize on behalf of IEEE. Thank you very much. I wish you fruitful work and pleasant time here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Rudas, for your welcome address. And next in the row, I would like to ask Mr. Peter Jakub, Director General from the Institute of Information and Prognosis, Ministry of Education of Slovak Republic, for his short welcome address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my first visit on this conference, so I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me. The Minister of Education, Science, Research and Sport, Dusan Šaplović, who is the patron of this 11th conference, cannot attend in person today. But he sends his great greetings to all the participants and expresses full support for this international meeting. I would like to pass his thanks to organization committee of these conferences for their hard work in the last 11 years. I wish you a good conference full of useful information and discussion on the use of ICT in education. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to give you a brief instruction concerning the conference organization. During the conference, there will be presented more than 70 papers by participants from 8 countries, 5 remote conferences, remote video conference presentations from USA, Russia, Austria, and Belgium. The conference is organized in this new venue, you already mentioned, I believe. Grand Hotel Starý Smokovec, Höfner Hall, all plenary session and all technically oriented sessions. All lectures will be recorded and archived and will be available for participants and at our video server at the Technical University of Košice. Poster session will be organized in Friedrich August Lounge. I believe you already know where it is. The posters were displayed in the morning. I believe all posters were displayed, and you will have chance to see them during the breaks in the conference program. Leave kindly your notes to the authors in the plastic bag fastened below the posters, and you can also meet the authors personally today after the lectures in the time 6 p.m. from 6 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. to discuss in the same area, exchange ideas, addresses, and so on and so on. We would like to invite or to ask authors to be there at the disposal to other conference participants. Now, a few words about technologies used at the conference. Our conference traditionally uses newest ICT technologies that are in the care of the Computer Network Laboratory of the Technical University of Košice. The technical team ensures transfer of the conference program by IP streaming, so you can inform your colleagues at the universities, at your companies, that it is possible to see or watch conference or attend conference remotely. In all conference room and also in the hotel, we have a free wireless access to the internet. No password is required. In each room you will find technicians to help you. What concerns the social program, of course, there will be served coffee and light refreshment during coffee breaks. In the evening, welcome party will be organized. It will start at restaurant Lefebvre, as I am informed. It is just next room, here in the Grand Hotel at 20 p.m. or 8 p.m. In the end, I would like to thanks to all supporters of the conference. They are conference sponsor. Their logos are displayed here in the hall, and also you can find them in the conference website, and I'm not going to name them now. I want to thank to the organizing staff members who work hard. And finally, I want to thanks to all participants coming here. Without your contribution and participation, we could not organize such prestigious event. This is your merit. The conference is organized in a such large scale. I wish you spent nice time here at the ICETA 2013 International Conference during its 11th year. Now we are going to start the first plenary session. May I kindly ask our honored guest sitting at the chairman desk to take their seats in the hall.